Hello, everyone. This is Chess Addict, and I am on chess.com. And I just became a platinum member, and let's see if I like it. But so let's get into it. So this game, I want to mix things up, play a different, which I'm pretty sure some of the people that play on here play on Lead Chess as well. But I want to get a different, go to some different venues and see how I fare playing different people. I want to kind of increase my the people that I play. So plus I want a little bit of a change of atmosphere. So today we want to look at the Queen's Gambit decline. I'm a D4 player. For a long time I was an E4 player, but I'm really digging the D4 openings because I'm learning how to be. I can still play positional, but in the middle game it kind of can transform into some aggressive play. So let's get into it. Some people don't agree with that. They say, typically, especially when I play the London system, they think it's a boring opening. It's really not. Around the middle game, you can really cut loose in that system. And this one is Queen's Gambit, which was a Queen's Gambit decline. Starts off D4, of course, and then it makes it the decline by him choosing not to take that pawn, so he declines. And then I went ahead and played the move C5. Then he brings out the knight C6, and then I played knight F3, bishop D7, and bishop F4, followed by knight F6, and then E3, knight E4. Bishop D3 was a little questionable according to the generator, but I knew what I wanted to do. And then of course also the knight move, but I wanted to kick the knight because I wanted him to either move, play, or do something. And then he elects to change off the light square bishops after taking his knight on E5. He castles the I castle. Then he plays a move, preparing a preparatory move, getting ready to support the bishop's move to B5. And I play a preparatory move, supporting the pawn so I can move the pawn to B4. So he comes on B5, I take, he takes, and then I close that off. So I have a nice pawn structure here. The bishop is outside of the pawn structure. That's good. The queen needs to come out of the pawn structure to support the bishop. And I always try to give some advice to beginners. That's the whole purpose of my channel, is to help those people who they really don't understand the chess theory, or it seems like the people they're trying to learn from, because that was my problem. The people that I wanted to learn from, they've been playing chess for a long time, and they were sounded like Russian to me, which a lot of them, granted, were Russian or Slavic, and they played really well. But they were talking mainly chess terms, and I wasn't really familiar with a lot of chess terminology, and they were like going over really complicated lines. They were always showing games of grandmasters. Well, I mean, it's hard. How can you really, you can see, but if you don't understand the concepts, that's going to make chess very hard for you to learn. And I gave up on chess several times, but I actually hired Tiger Lily as a coach, and he's coached me a couple of lessons, and he's given me some really good advice. He's a really good coach, Valery Lilov, and he plays really well. I think he is a grandmaster. He's about 20. I think he's rated like 2600 FIDE rating, and he is a grandmaster, and he plays really well. And he and I have played several occasions, and my game improved tremendously, almost 400 points from the time that I started working with him to now. My game has improved over the course of a year, about 400 to 500 points improvement, so that's good. But at any rate, looking back at the game, so I try to tell you like what my idea was, the reason I made a move, and the reason, what was I thinking when I made that move. Because I feel like if you know what I was thinking when I made the move, even if the move you would have done something different, it's still like, oh, okay, so that's what he was thinking, but I can do that same thing if I do it with a knight, perhaps. This is just an example. Well, that's going to improve your game. It just gives you another idea because you saw it done one way, a way different than what you would do it. And so, even if you lose that piece, or you might want to sacrifice that piece and know you can still get the job done, it depending on your position. Or if you're not a positional player and you say, he wins some games playing position, and I can see, how him being a positional player, this works for him. Whatever. Even if the video is not produced by a grandmaster, doesn't mean you can't learn from these videos, because you can. And I've noticed that I'm not getting a lot of subscriptions, but I'm getting a lot of views. And a lot of views are like on the Zuka Torque, the Bush Gas Gambit. I hope the Bush Gas Gambit, all of these openings that I use, they have my touch on them. Like, I'm doing it. I'm playing with the way that I like to play. I'm not playing theory. In a minute, I'll show you what it says. Here, this is a perfect example. Let me see if I can get the report. Right here, it says, for me, I had 15 best moves. Now, mind you, there weren't a lot of moves in this. My accuracy was 79.6. His was 78.3. I didn't have any brilliant moves. That's okay. I had 6 excellent moves, 8 good moves, and only 2 book moves, 6 inaccuracies, no mistakes, and I did miss a win. I did miss no blunders, but I did miss a win. So we'll look and see that in just a second. So I only had 2 book moves. That's how much I don't play within theory. So if you keep looking at this, what I've done is turn this into playing it the exact same way I play the London system. Typically, is not the London bishop always on this diagonal? This is a dark square bishop. This bishop could be over here. That's typical in the Larson attack. But I've got that bishop over here playing. Well, if you play a d4, no, you can turn the Larson attack into a d4 opening. What I'm saying is, just because I open with a particular open doesn't mean I'm not playing caveats from other openings, because I am, and this is a perfect example of that. Okay. So now, and I think some beginners are playing so close to book theory that they're not really getting the full essence of chess. I mean, the theories, just like any theory, is to give you a baseline. You extrapolate from that theory, or extract from that theory, what you need to put in your game to make it work for you. Because if you're playing an opening that is a closed position opening by theory, but you're a open position player, then why are you using the opening? And if that's not how you play, more than likely you're going to lose a lot until you learn how to play outside the way you like to play. I'm a positional player, so I typically chose openings where I would research them, and okay, like the London system. That opening is for a positional player because the opening itself puts you in a great position from the beginning. I'm a position type player. And here, this is all position play, even in this game. Okay, so he brings up the rook. So now I want to, the rooks are touching, following the opening principles. The rooks are connected on the back rank. And he's doubling up on the file of the queen and rook. That's fine. And I'll just do a rook lift and attack the same and provide extra protection. So if he takes, I take. He takes, I take. So he's going to lose that exchange. So that's going to hold him off. He wants to exchange bishops. Nope. Not exchanging bishops, but I will attack your rook. So I played the move bishop d6. That was an excellent move. Okay, so he plays rook d8. Also an excellent move. Then I played the move queen. That was weird. Queen to h. Okay, so no, it's not weird. Okay. I thought I messed up, but it was if he lost his rook to a pawn, it would be kind of stupid. because he would take and then I would take back, and then I wouldn't move my rook from there. I would just wait and let him see what he do with that pawn. So it was good. I thought I left the bishop hanging. Okay, so then he plays g6, and I did miss a move here. In just a second I'll show you. Bishop g7, and then I move the queen, and when he pushes this pawn right here, I was supposed to go up here and take it, but I didn't, and I should have, because it would have pinned the bishop to here, and then I could have played the move bishop to e. That's where I missed the win. If I would have taken the pawn here, I could have played bishop to e5, and then and then checkmate was unavoidable, unless he did maybe like a rook lift or something to protect. That's the only way that, and even if he did that, I would be able to place him in check several times and then push the pawn forward. So I played the move queen g3, which was not the right move. It was actually a bad move, and that's why I missed the win. You can see it up here saying you missed the win. Alright, so king h7, and then I threatened the rook again, and I only did that because I want to move that pawn. So let's go back. Right here. So I did this to make him, this is a force. He's not moving this rook because he wants to. He's moving this rook because he has to. So that's a force move. And he moves it up, and that buys me time to move that pawn. Okay, and then he opens, and then now I want to trade the bishop. I want your bishop out of my way. He goes for that. He shouldn't have, but he did. He goes for that, and that was an excellent move. It was actually the best move. And then he plays rook e7, and then I threaten his rook. Why? Because that was something I want to do. I want to move that pawn, and he didn't take it, and I kind of figured that he wasn't, because the way this game is showing is that he wants to attack the H file, because I have these rooks over here separated, and they're no longer together, and that's the best time. It's not a bad idea, but I've put what I call an anchor right here. So if you're not doing that, this is a very good practice. I can't tell you how many games I've won instead of trying to do it with the bishop. These are like small little bishops with very limited travel space. They can only attack diagonally like a bishop, but they only go one square. But you can use, so look at these pawns like a bunch of little bishops, okay? And you'll be able to do you watch and see how handy this is. So he puts it in front of me. I go check. Now he has to respond to that check. See, he has to move his king because he can't put anything in front of me. That was a mistake on his part. Alright, so he moves back. So I get to take another pawn. Check. Queen h6. Queen takes h6. Now he can put something in front of me. Well, okay, now I can go there. Queen f6 check. So now he has to move his king. And then I move the pawn up. And then he comes down. He's ready. But here's the problem. There is a gap between his queen and him. But if he gets down here, so he can't do anything. Like, he can't bring the queen down because the king can protect this one square by itself. Now, if I were over here, I would need to be very afraid, because you could get checkmated from right here easily with no problem, with just the queen, because she has support with these pawns down here. But I'm not right there. I'm right here. So then I slide down, check, 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 and mate. So he can't move. He can't take this pawn. He can't go back here because of the pawn, and he can't remain where he is, and he can't run there. So that would be check and mate. So that was the Queen's Gambit decline. And as always, if you like the video, click like. If you have any questions, leave me a comment. If you have any comments, leave me a comment. My email address is chessaddict35802. It comes directly to my phone, and I assure you I will respond back to you. And until the next video, I'm out of here. Peace.